Let me unmute my mic. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Sama, Seattle Circuit Music and Art. I'm Derek Mazzoni. Thanks for being here. We do a weekly live stream of artists and musicians and thinkers or writers who create art that is transcendent, as in taking you out of your head, out of your body, and in some form or another, making you one with the universe from a religious experience, or one with the world from a secular experience, or one with yourself from, I guess, a psychological experience. Beautiful music, specifically, that allow the world to treat you better, and maybe you treat the world better. And this band fits that spot quite well. They're known as Opium Moon. Here's their new record. I've been playing it on the radio quite a bit. It's called Night and Day. It's a 2 CD set. And lo and behold, through the power of technology, we've got Opium Moon here right now. Hi.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. Good to see you. Let's start with a song.
Okay, all right.
That is gorgeous work.
Thank
Bravo.
you so much.
That is lovely. All right, let's grab the mic and let's get
Thank
into
you.
it.
Thank you.
Thank you. So, Opium Moon, Lili Haydn. Am I pronouncing that right, Lili?
Yeah.
Lili Haydn on violin and voice. Hamid Saeidi from Tehran on santoor and voice. Itai Disraeli from Israel on bass and voice. And MB Gordy from Toronto on percussion and voice. Did I get that right? No.
No, from
Yes.
Salisbury, Maryland.
Okay.
Pass the mic
Salisbury, Maryland. Originally.
Originally. The new record is beautiful, 2 CD set called Night and Day. It's available now. It just came out recently. You can find it on Bandcamp, which is the best place to buy it, to be honest with you.
That is the best place, but you can also get it on Spotify and all the other DSPs, and it's all good.
It's all good. We're just trying to,
Yeah,
trying to get you
maximize
as
the.
much love as possible because it's an
Thank
interesting
you.
time right now for artists. You got a new record out, but you're not touring as much as you would be. So, two big questions. How's life? And how did you find each other?
These are good questions.
Well, we're swapping chairs because one is making a little too much noise.
That's okay. That's okay.
so
I got a noisy
we've-
chair too. It's part of the charm.
We found each other through the music scene in Los Angeles, really. Itai and I are married, actually.
Mazel
We
tov.
met at a music festival. He's got a wonderful band that you would probably also love called Maytar. And they and their band and my band were both playing at a festival. We met there, and then when we got together, we met Hamid and heard Hamid and just fell in love with his sound. And I harassed him for a couple of years to make a record, and we finally did. And we knew that we needed the right chemistry with the right percussionist. And we tried a couple people, but MB's magic and fire and sense of space and filmic, cinematic sensibilities were really it was like instant magic. And we got together, and the very, very first notes we played together were on the first record.
Okay. That is awesome. And the band's been together since 2017?
Yeah.
Okay. And you won a Grammy in 2019?
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
That is awesome. And so how's life?
When I'm asked these questions, I always say the same thing. Life is what we make it, and I choose to make it good every morning. So life is really challenging because, as you know, there's no live shows to speak of, and our music is to communicate with people. We want to play for people, and so it's been challenging. But again, I think we all have been doing a lot of personal work and kind of working on ourselves and working with each other on our new project now, on the record that you hear now. And but I think the decision to take what we have and make it good is a kind of core of why that time was at least okay from my perspective.
Okay, so purpose, giving you a sense of like we have something to do here. You're not paralyzed by the reality.
And also, so as a band, we took our time with Night and Day, and we're starting to perform, and the reception has been lovely, so thank you for that. So we're starting to do more concerts through, the internet. But also on a personal level, we each have our solo projects, which we bring that perspective to the band. So Hamid has a new album out of his own with his Hamid Saeidi ensemble. I've been scoring television and film. MB has been playing for the biggest films on the planet, and Itai has also been working on a new album. So we bring this perspective to each other, and as producers and composers. And you want to chime in?
Hi.
Hi.
You were nodding, so I thought.
Yeah, I was just saying you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
So happy to be here. So yes, this is great. It was last 2 years was a little bit tough, but somehow we changed it and make it work for us. We did a lot of working. We were connected to each other through Zoom, through other online thing. We were sort of exchanging music, and we were talking, and we were meeting each other. So life is great.
It worked. It worked for you.
It worked.
Okay, perfect. Because this is one of the things that I've been doing now this for 20 years, and I mean, sorry, for 20 months since COVID kicked in. I didn't expect to spend so much time with so many different artists from all over the world. And the thing that I'm walking away with is that you, as musicians, kind of have this alchemical capability, if you're open to it, but also kind of like a responsibility that you have to take what's been going on all over the world and transmutate that, like, you know, lead into gold, into this music, which helps people deal with that don't have community, that don't have a purpose like this. And it's a big job. And it's also, you know, to your point, is like you're a band that is there to play for an audience. Like, you know, you solo doing this is lovely, but when people are moving and feeling you, then the circle is complete. You know what I mean? And to be away from that, you can kind of be like lost in this. Where is it going? And you're kind of have to do that right now. It's almost like, you know, knowing that inevitably you'll be playing in front of an audience, but right now you're learning and honing your craft to the point where you'll have this experience where people start weeping as soon as they hear you playing, because they'll have that openness.
That's
That make
so
sense?
right. That's so right, Derek. You know, I think as musicians, we actually, and that's maybe part of what we call the song messengers. You know, we really have a job to do. You know, we've been thankfully got the gift of being able to make music and create beauty out of thin air, so to speak. And so this is our responsibility to create it and to share it. And we are taking this seriously. And we also take it seriously in the sense that it's a lot of joy to do this as well. You know,
Yeah, you don't look miserable when you're playing. You don't look at
well,
it.
playing with Hamid and Lili and MB, how can anybody be miserable? I mean, come on.
Okay. You know, I know enough about the industry.
Well, and also when we play, I mean, our recordings are one thing, but when we play live, it's a completely different energy. I hope you get a chance to experience that sometime. I mean, it's even a high for us because we could have like the most miserable day, and we would show up to these. This was one place in town that we used to play on a semi-regular basis, and it would be like playing at 8:30, 9 o'clock at night or something, whatever. And we're already burned out, you know, but we start playing and it was like, whoa, what's happening here, man? This is like, it just transforms and transcends. And so, and we feel it when we're playing, and it's not about an ego thing, because the whole concept, at least I feel that the whole concept of when you're doing what we do, playing music, and I don't care whether in our case it's playing music or if it's an artist or if it's a dancer or whatever, you're really channeling whatever is out there and bringing it into this reality. And we happen to, again, not as an egotistical thing, but we just can do that live. And it's, I mean, well, Lucas will tell you he's seen us play a million times, and he's, you know, he could tell, he'll say the same. Lucas is our engineer.
Lucas, our engineer.
And I mean, everyone pretty much, we get that all the time, and it's a very special thing, and that's why we do what we do.
Perfect.
So,
Perfect.
you know.
Okay. Thank you for sharing that. Let's hear another song, please. And tell us what's this song and a little story about it, if you can.
This song, can you hear me through the violin?
Yeah. Yeah.
So this song is called Dream, and this melody came in a dream. And actually, just to say that really this whole ensemble and every single step of the way has, for me, it has really been given sort of divinely, honestly, like just a profound gift from the concept of the band to the camaraderie, to the chemistry, to the melodies, to the production, to the Grammy, and to it just every single step of the way. It's been honestly, it's felt divinely guided to me, and and I'm just so eternally grateful for this, for all of you. Truly, this is Dream.
Beautiful track, beautiful work. Opium Moon on Sama, Sales Circuit Music and Art. I look forward to welcoming you here and sharing that. You guys have chops.
Thank you.
Seriously. It's like, okay, something's going on here. Tell me why the name Opium Moon? I mean, I know why, but tell everybody why the name.
Well, it's really based in a, we love Hafiz. We love his poetry. And in the Daniel Ladinsky translation, we came across a poem that really struck a chord with us. And in this poem, he says something like, the birds, I'm trying to quote it precisely, the birds' favorite songs you do not hear. For the most flamboyant music takes place when their wings are stretched above the trees and they are smoking the opium of pure freedom. I once asked a bird, how is it that you fly in this gravity of darkness? She responded, love lifts me. And we felt that the metaphor of opium for pure freedom and the idea that love lifts us through this incredible gravity of darkness, if you will. Two things we really resonated with. And we're so fortunate that we have Hamid in the band because we can actually ask him how the original goes. We can hear the actual words. Maybe...
You got it in you, Hamid?
Yeah.
And
The words in
Farsi?
Farsi is الا ای توتی گویای اسرار مبادا خالیت شکر ز منقار تنت گرم و دلت گرم و تنت خوش با جاوید که خوش نقشی کشیدی از خط یار.
perfect. Thank you very much. That's a special surprise. Thank you so much. That's beautiful. That's very beautiful.
And actually, we had a wonderful chance to meet Daniel Ladinsky because we actually quote that poem on the new album, and we had to get his permission, and we sent him the album, and he loved it and actually wrote a haiku translation interpretation of Rumi for us, which is actually on the back cover, and it's a previously unpublished haiku.
Wow.
And we actually are talking to him about doing a new album inspired by his poems with different guest speakers, including him.
That's beautiful. Isn't it interesting how one road leads to another and to another?
Yeah.
And how that comes about. And speaking of roads, I want to hear more music, but I'm curious, what's your journey into this music? Because I know you all have, obviously you have chops. You're living in LA. This sound is needed because it's very cinematic, and you're in the center of the cinematic, the Western cinematic universe. But how did you come to making this as one of your expressions as musicians? What was your journey there?
For me, music is music. It doesn't have genre. It's not about, I was trained in Western classical music, but just loved anything, any melody that any expression that's authentic. But I've always been drawn to world music, and one of my very favorite albums on the planet is Call of the Valley with Hari Prasad Chaurasia. And and I always wanted to make an album that would be perennial, would have that kind of like that would go beyond genre. And then when we met Hamid and MB, it was just very, very natural for us. I mean, we all just bring our background to it, and we don't tell each other what to do. Sometimes I trip up, but mostly we just bring our sensibilities and our hearts together, and it just comes out completely organically.
I just want to add, for me, the experience is like, as a professional musician, I'm doing my job somewhere else and do the job. And when I'm getting tired, I'm getting to this band. And this is the music is for us to really, really, we started for ourselves. We are enjoying whatever we are doing and whatever we are playing and whatever we are producing. So this is like for me at least, it's the place that I feel comfortable, I feel safe, I feel I can do whatever I want musically, and everybody is going to support me. This is the how we treat each other. We feel safe here to express ourselves, and do whatever we are scared to do it outside of this band. If I'm clear.
No, it's perfect. I totally understand. Thank you for sharing that.
And to add to what Hamid and Lili said, we're all composers, we're all producers, we all play in different configurations, and can do, we can write you charts, and we can do other stuff, and we can record multi-tracks and other stuff. But for me, at least, I felt that there has to be a place where it's pure music. It's music that's not considered like, well, this track is 17 minutes. You got to be 3 minutes, kind of stuff. It's not. It's really finding the people that your soul can basically fly with, and then simply create an open space to play. And this has really kind of been our modus operandi. And it's like Hamid said, we want to play for people, but the truth is that we love playing with each other so much. It's just really just the sound of this music coming out. It's almost not even us anymore. It's this kind of music that comes through us, and we just sit and listen to it together, And it's really wonderful to have a place, like Hamid said, that you are free from all the constraints of the market and all the thoughts of I got to do this, I got to do this. No, it's what is in your soul, brother. What is in your soul, my sister? What is it we're hearing together? We might just read a beautiful poem. We might we saw a flower. We might, something happened. So all this stuff is an inspiration for the music, and we really purposefully leave room for this. We don't try to box it. We don't try to control it. What do you think, MB? What's your
take, MB? That's beautiful.
For me, because I play a lot of different types of music, and I play a zillion instruments, all percussion based. And I wish I played santoor, and maybe I'll take lessons with Hamid. And bass is one of my favorite instruments. So one of these, I still got some time left on this earth, so it'll happen. But but since I do play a lot of different instruments, I have an insane amount of collection of percussion instruments. This big thing behind Itai's head it looks like a moon, but it's actually a big, huge taiko drum that I just recently had made. And I do play a lot of this kind of instruments on film scores and video games and records and whatever. So it's kind of cool to, as much as I love all that, and drum set was my first instrument, and I still play a lot of drum set. And who knows, maybe we'll add drum set to something here in this band sometime, but not anytime soon, because that would be like on maybe a big tour or something. But I'd love to have taikos on tour too. That would be awesome. So it's all about the schlep, right? So with this band, I can kind of minimize all that and still accomplish a lot of what we're trying to say, and kind of bring this, like I said, since I play on a lot of film scores, kind of bring that kind of sensibility to it. Not that it's this all filmic music, so to speak, but I like the world music aspect of what I do and this band, and so So it's great for me to be able to play like more. This is more hand drum oriented. So for me, it's to bring that element to this that I don't get to do a lot anywhere else. And like Hamid said, I mean, this is a free space, you know. Like, and when you're improvising, improvisation's an interesting thing, you know. You're putting your neck on the line every time you do it. Let's put it that way.
You do.
And we've never seemed I'm pretty much, I think we're all in agreement that any gig we've ever done, when we got done, again, this is not coming back to like, oh man, we sounded so great. It's just, we go like, oh, wow, that was awesome. And that was different than the last time. And that's what true improvisation is with I don't care who you're talking about, any jazz player, any whatever, you know. And that's what, a good, percentage of what we do is improvise. There's themes, obviously, you've heard these things going on already. And somewhat of a bit of chord change kind of information, but most of it is improvised. And that's where it really is the challenge, but it's also the fun for us. So anyway, that's
I understand. No, that's great. Thank you for the answer. Appreciate it. Let's hear another song, please. Opium Moon, the new record is Night and Day. Also want to give some props out to Mark Gorney. Thank you, Mark, for the work you do. Dave Sanford, also. It takes a village to get all this out there. And I want to appreciate everybody out there. Opium Moon on Sama.
We're actually going to do one song from our last album. This is called Caravan. Because of the timeliness of, I guess it's always time, but in honor of the people who are coming, who are leaving their homes in search of a better life, and in a prayer that everyone's hearts will be more hospitable.
Beautiful work. Well done. That is stunning. That's really, really lovely.
Thank you.
Well done. I don't mean to gush, but it was really lovely.
Thank you very much.
There's a lot of stuff there. I'm a big fan.
Oh,
I'm a
stop
big
it, man.
fan.
Stop it.
Take it.
Stop.
Take it if you can. Take it if you can. I'm a big fan of. This is my nerd calling. I'm a big fan of Norwegian and Scandinavian 70s jazz from ECM, and especially the bassist Eberhard Weber.
One of my
Just-
favorites, man.
You just
Great
brought
bass
me
player.
there. It was like, ooh,
Oh,
that's
thank you.
nice.
It's a big compliment, man. I appreciate that.
That's lovely work. And it's a very emotive, which is lovely. I got to come up with another word than lovely. It's very touching, and touching in such a way where I feel an audience that would you're playing in that kind of space where music allows emotions to feel a certain way. I feel like I'm quoting some old philosopher that I'm spacing out right now, where you're you're like music, especially in cinema, since you're in LA, music is kind of like lets you know what you should be feeling at that particular time. And the way you introduce that, I got it exactly. You know, open hearts, come in. It's been a crazy time. Let's find a way to be nicer to each other, um, especially after the kind of 2 years we've had or some. And let's talk about the 4 years before that. You know, in the United States and then in general throughout the world, we're going through a lot of transitions and a lot of times. And I don't mean to put this on you guys because you're a band and I get it, but it's kind of in the time that I've been doing this is like, then who else is going to let us know how to feel? How do we go through this thing? Then artists such as yourselves. So um, it's a tough job, but it's the job you got.
Well,
Wouldn't change it for anything.
uh, it is it's what we are born to do. I think. When we grab the music out of the air, as MB said, we're channeling, and part of that is also the emotions, the zeitgeist, the troubles, the pathos, the journeys of our fellow humans, and it's a lot to feel. There's so many people suffering now, and there's so many challenges. We don't need to enumerate them, but part of plucking these melodies out is definitely you can't do one without the other. I don't think, and what we see on your show is the community that is sensitive to all of our human experience. And so that's what we definitely bring that. And that's one of the things that we also bring just on a personal note. As you mentioned, Hamid is from Iran, Itai from Israel, I'm from Toronto, Canada, and MB from US, from Muslim, Christian, and Jewish backgrounds. And what's so lovely is that, as to use your word, is that we have all of that, but it doesn't get in the way at all. It's this delicious. And I also love and with all due respect to fusion music, it can sometimes feel a little bit calculated. And this is it's like it's in the primordial soup of our souls in a way. And with that comes the experience of all of our people's journeys and suffering and triumphs. And so yeah, you're exactly right. We that's what our job is, and we're so glad that you could feel it. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you. So once again, let's get it down to brass tacks. The new record is Opium Moon. Pick it up on Bandcamp. Support these artists because we're in an interesting time, even as musicians. You got 80,000+ uploads going to Spotify every friggin' day. And then most of the music is like nostalgia. It's like something like 70% catalog. That's just on Spotify alone. So artists aren't playing so much. CD sales are difficult to say the least. So everybody out there, support these artists that you love so they can continue to make music, people. Kind of like that's the way it works.
Yeah, thank you. We wanted to point out, too, the artwork on this record is by a gentleman that we're very fond of. His name's Norton Wisdom. His artwork is amazing, and we should tell you a little bit about that real quick. When we play live, and he's done this with other people too, but when we play live, he's playing with us. And he sets up an easel that's backlit, and he does one of these paintings and while we're playing. And then he takes a photo of it, and he erases it, he wipes it all down, and does another one through the whole show. Nice. And so he's documented them by having them, photographed. And so that's, some of his work of what you see there. And that's part of the show, too. That's like super important, we feel, because it's a heavy visual thing. And he is, man, talk about channeling. He takes it to another level. I mean, it's amazing what he comes up with, because we'll be playing and you don't really not paying a whole lot of attention to it sometimes because we're busy doing what we do. But I get it because of where I sit and in view of him. I get to look back sometimes and look at what he's doing. It's like, oh, man, I got to stop and check this out for a second. I mean, he's amazing. So if you can get to see any of his work anywhere, do it, purchase it, whatever. He's amazing. So
Perfect.
Norton Wisdom is his name. Yeah.
Norton Wisdom.
Website is nowisdom.com.
Oh, nice. Ironic.
And just to say one other thing, so the album, as you said, is a double album. It's a double album, and we decided with the first album was entirely that sort of, sultry, slow, spacious, lovemaking music, and but we also love to make people dance. So we decided to put all the lovemaking music on one album and all the danceable, celebratory stuff on the other. And so we called it Opium Moon, Night and Day. And those paintings also speak to the concept.
Perfect. Thank you for sharing.
And just one other thing. Sorry, I'm Mr. Information today.
You are.
So the gentleman who's working with us today, my dear friend Lucas Faring, is also the engineer on our Grammy-winning record, and he engineered I think pretty much all the night stuff on this record.
Thank you, Lucas.
So anyway, Lucas Faring.
Lucas Faring.
Well,
Do you need
one
to
thing
be-
that I want to say, as I was looking at the show and stuff, I was struck again by the choice of the name of the show, and because the Sama is such a wonderful practice. I'm sure that so the idea that you can listen to music and through music get to the spirit. You may call it God, you call it one, you call it whatever you want, but the idea that listening and the act of listening to music can be a spiritual action. And I think that now, especially like you were saying, with so much challenge, there's so many challenges, I think if we help people to reach that place inside of themselves where there's a little bit of space, a little bit of quietness, a little bit where they can listen and connect, that's part of our peace work in the world and part of your peace work in the world. So I just want to thank you for doing that, for naming the show that way. I know it has more than one meaning, but I just wanted to throw it in there in appreciation.
No, that was the intention. Thank you for noticing that. Yeah. We're so complimentary to each other right now. This is the way we should be in the world. Let's hear another song, please.
All right.
This is Zakir, right?
All right. So just to again, we had, it's a funny story, but this word, it's a word that, again, just like Sama, it's a word that comes from the word of Sufi mysticism. And the main idea, again, we've just had an incredible Sufi mystic by the name of, it's too long to get into, but the idea that with every breath we can remember the source. And with every breath we can affirm the idea that it's not really us, but it's the one. And to continue to have it as a practice, that's something that really speaks to us. And there's some confusion in American-speaking languages because that original, it's called dhikr, which is, it's in Arabic, there's a letter called da. It's a D that has an H behind it. We don't really have it here, so the closest is like TH or Z, so sometimes you see it spelled as zikr or dhikr, but the correct spelling of, if you want to be true to the Arabic form, is DH, but it's pronounced dhikr, like TH or like Z. Zikr, remembrance. And this is what this track that we're about to play is about.
That looks like fun. Beautiful. Opium Moon on Sama, Seattle Circuit Music and Art. The new record is Night and Day, and the track is called Sikir. Thank you. Thanks for doing that.
Thank you for having us.
This is lovely. This is lovely. Let's do this again. Let's do this live. Let's figure
yeah.
out, you know,
Please.
how we can make something like that happen. Massive success with this. It's a beautiful record. Obviously, you've got two tracks on there, and you guys are working all the time. So probably new music is on the way, or in the process of being created, or
Always.
some such thing. It's not like you're lacking inspiration in this time, and it seems like you're having a lot of fun playing together. Thank you once again. Be well, be safe. We're still in the middle of this craziness, and let's see. Any final messages you want to send out there to your fans, people that are interested in more about what you do? Obviously, you've got a website and you're on social media. Well done with that. It's like everything's concise. It's nice. Often musicians, whether in your space or in others, it's just like, I'm too busy making music. And it's like, dude or dudette, you really need to be in this space. This is the new store.
We're trying. Please visit us. We're very hands-on. So anybody that wants to be in touch with us, we are here. We'll listen to your stories. we'll write back and forth, and we love to collaborate. And we would also, just spread the word. This is how it works these days. So thank you so much.
How can they get in touch with us? Where can
Opiummoon.com or Instagram, Opium Moon Music, and just Google Opium Moon, and
You'll find you.
and we're here.
Perfect. Okay.
Thank you
Once
so
again,
much.
thank you for sharing, and we'll talk soon. Peace, love.
Thank you so
Be well.
much.
Be safe. Cheers. Bye.